My name is Jeff Chapman, Chapman, and a meteorologist. Well, the weather is certainly going to be taking a downhill slide as we go through the remainder of the afternoon and the evening hours. There's an area of precipitation developing across eastern Nebraska right now, sliding to the north, and that's mainly been in the form of some light rainfall. But the temperatures to the north are below freezing at the surface, and this will cause areas of freezing rain to develop as we go later into the afternoon and especially into tonight. Well, the thing about this storm is there's little question that there's plenty of moisture in the system. The biggest questions right now are going to be in the type realm as to whether there's a longer period of freezing rain, a little sleet, or all snow. Much more confident in the snow as you go further into South Dakota. Much more confident about the freezing rain as you head into northwest Iowa and points to the south and east a little bit. But that area between the two is kind of not quite sure what to expect for exact amounts of either the freezing rain or the snow at this point.
How about the Sioux City metro area?
At this point in time, we are looking for some significant ice accumulations again to begin this evening. Right now we're looking for, by the time things change over to snow during the day tomorrow, we're going to see around a quarter to an inch, maybe some areas getting closer to a half-inch ice accumulation, and that can be particularly devastating to trees and power lines and just generally trying to get around.
And what time do you expect that ice to start coming? And then what time do you think it could switch over to snow?
Well, there is currently some precipitation moving northward through eastern Nebraska. Rain reported as close as Tacoma, and heard a few reports around Norfolk and Wayne as well. That will be moving into the Sioux City area as we go into the middle portions of the afternoon.
And how much snow could we get? Or is it mainly going to be a nice event for northwest Iowa, like you said?
Well, it is going to be a balanced event in that there'll be multiple types in there. It looks like the freezing rain is on the front end of the system as we go through tonight and into the first part of tomorrow. Then we should see conditions change over to snow. And it looks like in the Sioux City area itself, somewhere in that 2 to 5 inch range, depending on where you go. But if you head to the north and west, the amounts will increase rapidly and drastically to the point where we're expecting anywhere from a foot to maybe a foot and a half to 2 feet as you go towards south central South Dakota.
Wow, this sounds like kind of a challenging storm to forecast. Is that the case, or I guess it just depends on the temperature?
Yeah, the real challenge with the system is how the temperatures stack up as you go up in the atmosphere. It's easy when it stays cold enough that it's all snow. You don't have to worry about those different types. In this case, we're dealing with temperatures that are very marginal for either being a liquid type or the solid type, and that zone between, which unfortunately kind of slices across extreme southeast South Dakota, extreme northwest Iowa, and parts of northeast Nebraska, make it very difficult to determine the exact amounts of snow that we're expecting.
And we also cover over into the Iowa Great Lakes area. What does it look like for that portion of Siouxland?
Again, that portion of northwest Iowa over toward the Iowa Great Lakes is going to be pretty dominated by the freezing rain type, especially as we go into tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow. Freezing rain looks extremely likely. We will have ice accumulations probably getting up closer to that a third to a half an inch over there. And then going through the day tomorrow, we'll see a gradual transition over to some snow. And on top of things, the ice that we get initially, again, that area is likely to see something in that 2 to 5 inch range.
Has this been a challenging season so far this winter?
It's definitely been an active season so far. A lot of significant storms. I think this is the third or fourth one now that we've had since December.
Is there any reason for that? I know that we've been, in a La Nina?
Yeah, we're just kind of in an active pattern right now, and as long as the flow remains out of the southwest, that allows the moisture to return into the area, and these systems moving out of the southwestern U.S. to increase in strength and move across the area with enough cold air in place to generate that wintry precip.
Seems like we've missed most of the major snow here in Sioux City, but if you look at what we got last year, I think we've maybe already surpassed that already. We had less than 5 inches here.
Last season was amongst the least amount of snow ever on record for the Sioux City area. Now already I know this month we've had areas that have been either the second or the third snowiest so far for any December. So we've kind of flipped the page and are looking at the other side now, which is a lot more hazardous for trying to get around in these winter months.
But we could use that moisture because we've been in extreme drought too.
Yes, yes. Any moisture is good moisture at this point.
Anything else you'd like listeners to know today?
Just to make sure that with the conditions we're expecting out there, that you either delay your travel plans over the next day or two, or at a minimum, make sure to check the road conditions with Safe Travel USA.